Well, Rich, it's time to get things underway.
All right.
Marco Antonio Barrera, the baby-faced assassin, finally getting his title shot.
Well, tonight he'll be going up against Daniel Jimenez, the WBO champion. Barrera has been sensational, Tom, in his career. He has beaten everyone in front of him. He's undefeated in 34 fights. He has all the skills needed to be a world champion. But tonight he goes in against a champion who's making his third title defense, and after a slow start in his career, really has come on and is on a roll himself. Barrera is the favorite, however, in this fight as a challenger. Right now, let's take a closer look at these two fighters and how they match up here tonight. Unbeaten in his last 18 fights, WBO champion Daniel Jimenez prefers to hit and not be hit.
I characterize myself as a humble boxer, easygoing boxer, but I also am a very good boxer and a good champion.
Known as the Cobra, Jimenez strikes from all angles. Possessor of a punch that must not be underestimated, the Puerto Rican makes his U.S. debut tonight and promises a varied attack.
That is one way to fight. I can just as well go to the body as I can go upstairs. It will be probably a combination of going to the body and going upstairs.
Which is why he feels, despite his underdog status tonight, his overall ability will carry him through.
He will not connect me because I'm a very good boxer. I move very well. I have a lot of speed, and I'm ready to go 12 full rounds without him reaching me.
The night has finally arrived for the challenger and baby-faced assassin Marco Antonio Barrera. Having dominated two weight divisions, Barrera was thinking retirement if his world title opportunity did not come.
I was not threatening. I was really thinking about leaving boxing. I was getting tired of fighting all those 10-round fights. Now I have the opportunity to fight for the title. Now I will show the world who Marco Antonio Barrera is.
Barrera has blown away 34 straight opponents. Although as Barrera has outgrown one weight category after another, so is the question, in what weight division does he really belong?
You have to understand that I started boxing at age 15. That's when I also started fighting at the weight 115. That is the reason that now as progressively have gone up. I believe now I'm at the correct weight, the best weight, where I will be fighting, where I feel very strong.
Barrera has one-punch KO power, can outslug or outbox an adversary, often dissecting the style, then breaking down his foe.
In this particular fight, I will forget about those rounds of studying the opponent. I will go out full out since the beginning. I think that I have to pressure him. I think that to make it a good fight and to have a good showing against the people locally that have backed me up and supported me for so long.
That was a look at Marco Antonio Barrera. Now the crowd lets out a roar as the undefeated baby-faced assassin is about to make his way onto the floor here at the pond in Anaheim. There he is. That's his father just to the right. This 21-year-old is undefeated. And I think, Rich Barrera, we both agree, when he put Eddie Cook away, he showed us not only a great chin against a formidable opponent, but a magnificent punch as well.
Tom, Eddie Cook was a former WBA champion, and he gave Barrera a tremendous fight at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. In fact, he hurt Barrera in that last fight, just before he himself was knocked out by Marco Antonio Barrera. So this kid has a lot of heart. He proved it in that fight. You know, he had won so many of his fights so easily, Tom. You begin to wonder what would happen when he has to answer some of those questions, like the kind of heart that he has and the kind of character. Well, he passed the big character test that night against Eddie Cook.
He did indeed, and Jimenez, whom we'll see in just a bit, is frank to say he's never had to go 12 rounds against a guy who's as good as I am. All right, there's Marco Antonio Barrera and his official record provided by Ring Magazine, the Bible of boxing. How impressive can it get? 34 in zip and 24 knockouts. El Torito, this is some fighter, this Barrera.
That's right. He was the same weight as mine. I'm 115 pounds, but now he went to 122, 118 pounds. So I got no trouble with him anymore, so I don't have to worry about that.
Here's the man who thinks he'll have no trouble with them. Here is the WBO Junior Featherweight Champion, Daniel La Cobra Jimenez. You've got Cobras and Cobritas and sharpshooters, and there he is wearing a hooded dressing gown as he brings himself down the ramp and into the ring. He definitely will not be a favorite with the crowd, but that doesn't bother him, Rich. He fights mostly away from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's fought all over the world. In fact, he won the championship from Duke McKenzie in London, Tom. So he's not bothered by the hostility that he will face from this crowd here this evening. He expects it, and he's very, very much a confident fighter. I kind of got a big laugh out of it yesterday. So that Barrera, he's kind of the forum's golden boy.
He's making his 4th title defense, and his last fight was a 6-round KO over Abigail Contreras in November of 1994. He's a very confident fighter. When we spoke with him yesterday, he was frank to say that despite the great record Marco Antonio has, that he's never fought a guy as tough as Jimenez, nor has he had to go 12 grueling rounds. So we are prepared to see a magnificent bout here tonight. And most of the ringside observers feel this is really going to be a classic confrontation.
Well, from the tapes we have seen of Jimenez, Tom, he looks very good. He has a nice style, kind of deliberate. He apparently punches to the body very well. And he is a guy who will try to hit and not be hit. And that's certainly the way you want to fight a Marco Antonio Barrera.
All right, he steps into the ring. This is the WBO champion at 122 pounds, making his 4th title defense. And his official record, provided by Ring Magazine, the Bible of boxing: 19 wins, 3 losses, a draw, and 10 knockouts. Not nearly as impressive a set of numbers as those that come into the ring tonight with Marco Antonio Barrera.
But don't be misled by that record, because he started his career, Tom, 3-3 in his career, and since then is undefeated.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape as these two men square up against each other. Get a better look at Jimenez now. 5'5.5", and Marco Antonio Barrera is 2 inches taller. They both came in at 120.5. 4 years younger. Barrera's 21 and Jimenez 25. And Jimenez has just an inch advantage in the reach department. Now, the rules that govern the WBO championship bout, simply put, winner of the fight or the round gets 10 points, the loser a lesser number. 3 knockdown rule in effect. No standing 8 count. Fighter can be saved by the bell in the last round only. Ring position, and the referee can stop the fight. Now, should an accidental headbutt occur, they will go to the scorecards after the 3rd round. That brings you up to date. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is standing by. Let's get it on, Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California, as we have a big night of action coming your way. Mucho Machismo, brought to you by Forum Boxing Incorporated, along with Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. Y a todos nuestros amigos latinos, bienvenidos aficionados al box, al Mucho Machismo. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we present the first of our world title featured bouts of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Organization, the president, Francisco Valcarcel, supervisor at ringside, the former light heavyweight world champion, Jose Torres, along with the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman William Eastman. Introducing to you the judges scoring this bout from ringside: Lou Moret, Jose Cobian, and Harold Lederman. Introducing to you the referee in charge of this bout. He is working in this, his 26th world title bout, Raul Caiz. All right, fans, here we go with the WBO Junior Featherweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner is the challenger. He enters the ring wearing red, white, and green trunks, hailing from Mexico City, representando Distrito Federal, Mexico. He weighed in at 120.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign as a professional with 34 wins, no losses, 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the Pentacontinental Champion, who is the WBO #1 junior featherweight contender, introducing the baby-faced assassin, el invicto, Marco Antonio Barrera. And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion. On my right, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks with silver trim. He is fighting out of and representing Camuy, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at the same weight as his opponent at 120.5 pounds. His record includes 19 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making the 4th defense of his title, introducing the WBO Junior Featherweight Champion of the World, Daniel La Cobra Jimenez. Once again, now to give instructions, here's the referee in charge of this bout, Raul Caiz.
Más una persona. Pueden venir 2. Marco, Daniel, ya les di las instrucciones abajo en el vestidor. Ahora, acuérdense, el huesito aquí, para abajo, es golpe abajo. Para arriba está legal. ¿Ok? Ahora, dense la mano, buena suerte, que gane el mejor.
Well, there was quite a crowd in each corner, but they finally got everybody out of there now, or mostly so, except the 2 participants. There's Marco Antonio Barrera, and I don't know, but what we should take a little credit for baby-faced assassin all over his trunks and everything, Rich. I think we may have given him that nickname or sobriquet. Across the way, why, La Cobra, Daniel Jimenez. That was Felix Trinidad over in his corner.
Yes, it was, adding some support in his corner, and he was jumping up and down. He looked like he wanted to come out fighting.
All right, Raul Caiz is the 3rd man in the ring. He says, as everybody's ready, there's the bell, let's go. Jimenez is in the black trunks with the silver stripe. In the red, the green, and the gold, Marco Antonio Barrera. Scheduled for 12 now.
Tom, although Barrera has gone up in weight to the 122-pound level, and many have wondered about his punch, he has fought 5 times at 122 and knocked out all 5 of his opponents at that weight. So he has actually had a better knockout record than he did at the lighter weights.
Well, Fernando Paramo says, quite frankly, at 115 pounds, when he was 115, that Marco Antonio Barrera was simply awesome, overwhelming. And so naturally the conversation turns to, as he's grown older and gotten bigger, has he gotten tougher? Can he hit harder? Well, we'll find out. He seems to have proved that he can. Boy, he's going all over Jimenez, going after him in a hurry.
Tom, the style of the fight is being set early here. Lots of lateral movement from Daniel Jimenez. He's moving left to right, but he's getting caught. There's a couple of pretty clean punches by Barrera.
This is a pretty good sized ring. Cecilio, this ring, I think, is 20 feet. Does it favor either one of these guys, do you think?
I think it's going to favor the Cobra Jimenez, because he's going to be running all over it.
Raul Caiz has apparently already deducted a point from Jimenez for a headbutt here in the 1st round. Barrera complained, and Caiz agreed immediately. Look at this lateral movement. I mean, he is circling to both sides.
This ring, I believe, is a 20-footer. And considering that the entire bill of fare tonight, and what a great menu of fights it is, these are not big people. You're looking, featherweights are going to be the biggest at 100, or lightweights at 130 pounds.
Tom, Barrera's cut. That headbutt cut Barrera over the eye. It is toward the inside portion of the right eye, above it, almost to where the nose area is, and it would appear as though it's the kind of dangerous cut that could bleed right into his eye.
Remember, we told you the WBO rules, an accidental headbutt, it's incumbent upon the referee to notify the judges of such a happenstance, and then, after the 3rd round, should the fight be forced to be stopped, why, then they will go to the cards to see who's ahead. and declare the winner. Boy, I tell you, Jimenez is like a guy with a motorcycle. He's all over this place. Somebody set his shoes on fire.
Well, I don't believe that Jimenez has landed a single punch of any consequence. The best thing he's done is headbutt Marco Antonio Barrera. But remember, they would not go to the scorecards until after the third round.
Now Barrera, as Jimenez spun him around, hit him a shot while they were trying to break the two fighters apart. Barrera, I think, is upset about the headbutt. Raul Caiz is trying to restore some order in the center of the ring. Barrera's coming out after this guy like he was a free lunch.
Barrera is very angry, Tom, and we haven't seen this kind of emotion from Barrera in a fight before.
Indeed, we haven't. In fact, he's almost stoic and laconic out there in the ring. Seldom shows any emotion. We'll look into his corner and we'll listen in as well.
Oh, don't worry.
That's a nasty-looking cut. What are they saying about it, El Torito?
Here comes the headbutt, Tom. You'll see Jimenez come in. There's the headbutt right in that area. Definitely a headbutt that opened the cut. Barrera complained about it immediately. Now, Tom, as you know, we've been saying now, we discussed the rules. They have to go 3 rounds before they go to a scorecard.
Right.
So Barrera perhaps feels like he better go out and get this guy, because if the fight is stopped before then, it's going to be a technical draw, and he's not going to win the championship.
What was the conversation over in his corner?
They were talking about some other fight he had that he got cut, and they were just telling him, remember what happened that last fight.
Boy, he looks angry as he comes out for round number 2. Marco Antonio Barrera, his corner working over a gash in a pretty good size one. It looked to be at least half an inch long, right at the corner of the right eye where the eyebrow stops, and then into the nose area and the center of the forehead. Jimenez, with 19 wins, is making his 4th title defense.
His last 2 against the same guy, Felix Lozada, whom he knocked out one time and decision another. He won the title back in 1993 from Duke McKenzie, and what was then, Tom, only the 11th pro fight of his career. He's fought a lot of non-title fights as well since winning the championship.
He said that the win against McKenzie really, not only did it give him the title, but it made him assured in his profession and really taught him a lot about the fight game and how good he was and what he wanted to do, and it was a real milestone for him. And only 11 fights, one can only imagine just how impressive that had to be for him.
Barrera is only 21 years old, but has already had 34 professional fights, of which he's won all. But he was already talking retirement, Tom, because he was very frustrated at not getting the opportunity to fight for the world title. And it just seemed as though nobody in either the 118 or 122-pound class wanted to give Barrera the opportunity.
Well, he has the enviable position of a family that is truly supportive of him, and a family that financially is very well off, and that he does not have to fight in order to make a living. He's an avid sportsman, this kid from Mexico City, and he is very much interested in pursuing an education that includes a law degree, and he can do that at any time. But this is a dream of his. As long as he's in this fight game, he's wanted to become a champion. He's getting a chance tonight, and he's not giving Jimenez a chance to even get set. Every time he gets an opportunity, he's on top of him. Jimenez very busy, moving, trying to stay away.
Well, Jimenez is going to have to do more than just that, Tom, rather than he can't just circle. He's got, at times, to set himself and throw some punches. I mean, because he's basically not even jabbing while he's on the run and moving it in the ring.
He told us yesterday that fighting away from his native Puerto Rico is something that doesn't bother him because he does it all the time. Nice left hand work there by Marco Antonio. But I get the impression the crowd is obviously pro-Barrera, and that has to be an effect. Something that Jimenez will have to consider. Barrera was holding and hitting there, Rich, and nobody said a thing about it, at least not Raul Caiz. This could be a very tough, manhandling type of fight for its own. Round number 2 coming to a close. It's scheduled for 12, and Jimenez continues to bob and weave and dance and move. Barrera continues to stalk him. Now we'll go back into the corner with Barrera. Listen in for us, if you will, El Torito. Tell us what they're talking about as we take another look at his eye.
They're telling him not to get desperate because you're going after him, and you don't have to get desperate. Just wait for him, just jabbing, and you can wait for him, but don't get desperate.
Don't get desperate. Wait for him and jab him.
Put your hands up and work on the middle distance. Don't try to go after him. Work the middle distance. You gotta move your legs and your
All right, we'll go across the ring, and there's Jimenez. Not much conversation going on over there. Out they come for round number 3. A headbutt in the first round. Not only an item of concern to Marco Antonio Barrera, but one that irritated him considerably. For the first time now, Rich Murata, in round number 3, Jimenez seems to be standing his ground and wants to exchange a few punches in the center of the ring.
Yeah, he's moving, but not just running, Tom. He's looking to box here, to box with Barrera, and to throw his own jab and to get things started. It had to come at some point. He's going to have to stop and fight.
Barrera's in the green, red, and white, and the champion, WBO Junior Featherweight champion, Jimenez, is in the black, trimmed in silver. We're in round number 3, and it's scheduled for 12. Would appear, looking at that cut over the right eye, that it has not become any worse, and in fact the corner's done what appears to be a pretty good job on that, right?
Yeah, actually it bled less in round 2 than it did in the first round, and is not opened up at all here in round 3, so maybe it will not be the factor that we thought it might. Hopefully not.
We're in the 3rd round. We're at the Pond in Anaheim. Beautiful venue and a great crowd on hand for mucho machismo. What a night of boxing. 4 world champions, 3 defending their titles. And a bit later, the only non-title scrap on the fight card tonight, Genaro Hernandez, the WBA junior lightweight king, goes in against Jorge Paez, and that might be every bit as important as if it were a title fight for Hernandez. Jimenez working to the body as they came in close, and he pumps a pretty good left straight out. Catches Barrera on the chin, misses with the right.
I think Barrera is following instructions from his corner in this round, Tommy. Has stayed, as Cecilio pointed out, at a middle distance, not trying to go in and go crazy here with wild flurries, even though he was cut, to stay at a comfortable distance and to box and to not be desperate.
Now the crowd pro Barrera, perhaps not too content with this solemn attack. Nice two-fisted attack by Barrera, and he is jumping all over Jimenez. The crowd warms to that. He's their fight favorite.
Jimenez ledger, Tom, is not filled with a lot of recognizable fighters, and I don't believe that, even though he is the champion, that he has fought the quality of opposition as yet that Marco Antonio Barrera, the challenger, has. That's a nice right-hand lead, though, by Jimenez as he was backing away.
Barrera with a nice jab, trying to follow it up with the right. There's the bell, and that brings us to the end of round number 3. And we'll follow Jimenez over to his corner. Silvio, listen in for us and tell us what's going on over there.
Breathe all the way. Don't let him make his fight. When he comes to you, receive him with the shot, with the middle one. But don't let him do it.
All right, here's a look at Barrera.
Jimenez was trying the right-hand lead there, Tom. Barrera comes answering right back. Barrera still controlling the action, no matter what style Jimenez has employed so far.
Come on, you got to beat him.
Now later in the round, Barrera still coming forward, Tom. Good jab work there by Marco Antonio. And Jimenez has tried a couple of different strategies so far, but neither one has worked.
He comes out with an overhand right to start the action in round number 4. And Cecilio, if I got you correctly on that, they were telling him, don't fight his fight, fight your fight. Is that right?
That's right. Barrera as a smart man, and he's doing what they're telling him at the corner. he's doing what they're telling him.
The cut over the eye that Barrera suffered because of the headbutt in round number 1 apparently is not going to be a factor. At least it isn't now. Raul Caiz separating the two men, and could be that he's in for a busy evening as well. Jimenez in the black, trimmed in gold and silver, and Marco Antonio Barrera with a show of blood now coming from his nose in the red, green, and white.
Jimenez is landing some better shots in this round, Tom.
Well, the first 2 rounds he spent mostly in reverse, galloping away, dancing, moving, staying away from Barrera, except for that one exchange where a clash of heads, and he was guilty of a headbutt.
He's trying to counterpunch here. When Barrera throws the left hand out, the left jab, he's trying to come back with his own right hand off of it.
Fight their way out of that clinch to the satisfaction of Raul Caiz, the referee.
That was nice work by Barrera, though. Did you notice how he went in, he landed 2 quick body shots and got right out again before Jimenez even had an opportunity to answer.
Jimenez is from Puerto Rico. Barrera, Mexico City. Undefeated, 34-0, only 21. Fighting for the junior featherweight title, WBO. Crowd appreciates his efforts to force Jimenez back.
Jimenez is doing better in this round, Tom, but I don't think he's doing enough necessarily to win the round.
No,
and these are rounds that Barrera is putting in the bank.
Yes, heavier hitting by Barrera. He seems to be throwing more punches. They seem to be a little heavier than the ones he's getting in return. He's throwing more of them. And he has Jimenez backing up. And even world champions find it hard to fight backing up.
And if he's hoping that Barrera will run out of gas, that might be misguided hope, because we've seen Barrera in other fights, as it gets later on into the fight, still be very strong, just as strong as he was in round number 1.
There's a busy round 4 coming to a close. All right, Fernando Paramo is standing by. It'll be Hernandez against Jorge Paez, and Fernando's back with Jorge.
Thank you, Tom. Maromero Paez says that he wants to have lots of fun. Are you having fun already?
Ready. Estoy listo, vengo a jugar, a cotorrear, ¿no? ¿No what I mean, homeboy?
Sure do. He says that he's coming in to play, to have fun, to enjoy it. How hard are you going to fight in this time?
Hablo español mejor.
¿Qué tan duro vas a pelearle hoy?
No, vamos a hacer la pelea que yo quiero y vengo a jugar, ¿no? Y venimos a ganar si se puede, ¿no?
He says he's going to come in, he's going to win, he's also going to fight. And if he can, he's going to win, but he's going to have fun enjoying it. Back to you, Tom.
Okay, homeboy. The Clown Prince of boxing. The beautiful pond, the Arrowhead Pond in Anaheim, California. One of the newest and most really beautiful venues for all sporting events, not only in Southern California, but in the world, I would think. There's Marco Antonio Barrera. You can see the smear of Vaseline over that headbutt cut that he suffered in round number 1. They're out now in round number 5, and it's scheduled for 12.
Tom, through the first 4 rounds right now, I have Barrera winning every round. I have him ahead 40-35, counting a 2-point round for round number 1 at 10-8 due to the deduction of a point from Jimenez for the headbutt.
I've got Barrera winning all of the rounds as well. I didn't put a score value on it, but I do have him winning or pitching a shutout, 4 rounds to none. And of course, we're not scoring the fight except for our own amusement or amazement.
More often that, right?
Yes.
And to the amazement of many of our viewers at times.
Yes.
This is the first boxing event, by the way, Tom, here at the Arrowhead Pond, and these fans have really responded.
Nice combinations thrown and landed by Marco Antonio Barrera. Jimenez, to his credit, fights back, but Barrera working to the body in substantial fashion.
Tom, it may be now that Jimenez is just going to try to stand his ground and fight. His previous strategies, one of a lot of lateral movement and circling, that did not work. Of standing in long range, basically, and trying to jab with Barrera, that did not work. Now look, he's moving in. He's moving Barrera back. He's going to try to be more aggressive here. He's trying a third strategy now in this fight.
And he has Barrera against the ropes, a position Marco Antonio doesn't find himself in very often. Spins his man around and lands some solid shots and kind of a relentless attack. And the crowd warms to the fight and the action here in round number 5. Barrera continues to stalk his man, banging with right hand leads, catches a right in return. A left-right combination.
Jimenez turned southpaw for a while, Tom. He's beginning to get a little desperate because absolutely nothing he's trying is working here against Barrera.
And I don't know, although he has shown some inclination to, I don't know that he likes to stand and trade with Barrera. Marco Antonio looks like he's got some devastating power going for him tonight, jolting Jimenez. This is round number 5. Scheduled for 12.
This is what Barrera does, Tom. He dissects an opponent. He goes in, he basically diagnoses what he has to do on an opponent and then begins the operation. He breaks down the opponent, dissects him piece by piece, and usually finishes him off.
Jimenez drives him against the ropes. Barrera covering up, slipping and dodging punches, trying to spin his man around, lands a kind of a slapping left hand. Slips away from a right hand lead thrown by Jimenez. Comes back with nice combinations, takes a left, lands a couple in return. They mix it up above us here as round 5 is coming to a close. We'll follow Jimenez back to his corner. Crowd really liked it.
Relax.
Oiga esto que le voy a decir. Mire, señor, usted tiene mejores manos que él.
Come on,
él
you
no
got
pega.
better hands than
Calado
him.
con todo y no está movido. La
He
mano
can't
tuya,
beat
él
you.
no la
You
aguanta.
haven't
Mira,
moved the same as the first rounds.
Dame la mano. Ahí va. A toalla.
Daniel, tienes que pasar los golpes. Cabecea.
Mira, me lo está sobando.
All right, Tom, as we take a look at some of the action, Barrera moving forward. Jimenez tried to be more aggressive, but by the end of the round, he was being moved back once again. And as you mentioned, the trading of the punches did not seem to work, and they were telling him, as Cecilio told us in his corner, go back to your first round strategy, use more movement if you can against Barrera. They're trying everything.
What do you think they meant by you've got better hands than he has? You mean you got a better punch than he has?
Then Jimenez, oh yeah. Or Barrera.
No, what they were telling Jimenez, you've got better hands. Is that what they were saying?
Oh yeah, they were saying that he's got better hands to do what he was doing in the first rounds.
I see. So they want him not only to do a little punching, but to do a little running. And there's a little wrestling, and down goes Jimenez. And the crowd, although it was accidental, I think, although Raul Caiz is telling Barrera, we're here to fight, not wrestle, the crowd liked the entire bit of business. Crowd predominantly in Barrera's corner.
Tom, we have followed Barrera's career and many fights that he has had in Los Angeles and Las Vegas. We've done a lot of his telecasts, and he is so poker-faced in that ring. Rarely changes expression. To see him angry was a shock, actually.
Yes, and I mean, he really was angry. And we were talking to him yesterday, and we were talking back to the Eddie Cook fight, where he was kind of going along, holding his own, and Cook, a former champion, nailed him with a solid shot. Barrera busy with a relentless attack on Jimenez, backing him up.
The uppercuts were working very well. He can land the uppercut inside. I think if Barrera utilizes that a little bit more here, Tom, he could end this fight. But that was just relentless pressure from Barrera.
He may have thrown 10, 12 punches unanswered, all of them landing, some better than others, against Jimenez. Getting back to Cook, he got hit with a solid shot on the point of the chin, and all of a sudden he turned from just a routine fighter into a tiger, and he put Cook away. And his answer in response to that question of yesterday was, well, you know, he made me mad. Hurt me and made me mad. They're taking a point away from Barrera. So each fighter now has had a point deducted, and Raul Caiz trying to get both of them reconciled to the fact that he's the boss out there, and he's not going to put up with any of that type of action from either man.
Jimenez came out of that with landing a very good right hand on the chin of Barrera, but he's getting hit too many shots.
Barrera trying to nail him in the corner. Crowd likes every moment of it. Solid right hands by Barrera now. Jimenez has got a great set of whiskers, Rich. I tell you, Barrera's landed some solid shots.
We've seen many of Barrera's opponents fall from less than that.
You're watching the action in round 6. This is a 12-round title go for the WBO Junior Featherweight crown. Jimenez has the title. Barrera wants it. Jimenez switches to the southpaw stance.
He's searching. He's grasping at straws, Jimenez. He's looking for anything that might turn the tide. What he needs is a big, solid punch on the whiskers. That's what he needs right now, because all these changes in strategy are not serving him well. Barrera is relentless right in front of him. He needs to land something big and to get Barrera's respect and get Barrera off of him.
And that brings us to the end of round number 6. Remember, Barrera had a point taken away for a headbutt.
Come on, you're going to lose the fight if you keep on doing that. Don't fight like that. You know the way you're supposed to fight. You know that if you lose, what it's going to cost you. Move more, throw more punches, come on, do something.
Okay, Tom, let's take a look at now at some of the action in that round. Barrera working here on the inside. Jimenez trying to answer back. That was a pretty good right hand by Jimenez, but look at the uppercut. That's what I was talking about in that round. He tried it again there. That uppercut is there for Marco Antonio Barrera.
Watch now for the headbutt that'll cost Barrera a point in that round. You can see it right there, his head down, and then he brought it up. And Raul Caiz, the referee, said that's going to cost you a point. But there was a flurry there of 8 or 10 punches unanswered, all thrown by Barrera. And many of them, including a lot of those uppercuts you spoke of, Rich, that were very successful. Now he's out, Jimenez that is, in the southpaw stance. This is round number 7. Scheduled for 12. Next up on the bill of fare tonight will be Genaro Hernandez against the Clown Prince, Jorge Paez. That'll be a non-title affair. And then 2 more championship bouts to follow. A main event, tonight's closer, Humberto Chiquita Gonzalez defending his WBC IBF light flyweight title against Jesus Zuniga of Colombia. In between, Louis the Sharpshooter Espinosa goes against Cobrito Gonzalez, WBC featherweight king. Right hand by Barrera. Got Jimenez high in the forehead. Pretty good solid shot, though.
Tom, we were talking earlier about how Barrera really does not need to fight. Now, he talked about retirement. We could not even get him yesterday to commit beyond this fight.
No.
He said, I may win and walk away.
Yes.
And I think with this kid, he is so serious-minded that he means it.
Yes. Well, he's getting some of the recognition that most of his fans feel he richly deserves in his native Mexico. And speaking of recognition, he has not quite arrived at the status of Julio Cesar Chavez, who's in the crowd tonight and is here to watch him and also to watch, I'm sure, Humberto Gonzalez fight. Nice left hand, working it down below and back up for Barrera. It's the 7th round, scheduled for 12.
Nice right hand by Jimenez. Maybe his best punch of the fight. You saw it twist the head of Marco Antonio Barrera. Barrera, Tom, at least so far, has taken this round off.
He seems to be just kind of going through the motions, coasting, whether he's getting his second wind or just taking a look at his handiwork so far and evaluating how things have gone through the first 6. He's here in the 7th. Jimenez people in his corner between rounds were frank to tell him you're going to lose the fight if you keep going this way. I don't know about what this round may be just in the books dead even between the two, but that brings us through 7. Fernando Paramo is standing by with Genaro Hernandez. Fernando, if you will, please.
Thank you, Tom. Genaro, besides Caiz, you're one of those boxers that one of those few boxers that also laughs in the ring. Is this going to be a fun fight for you also?
It really depends how he comes joking around, because I know Caiz is a clown and he's going to joke around, but no, it's all business tonight, and we have to try to take care of that.
You said there was some pressure because Oscar had gotten him out early. Is it lots of pressure for you because of that?
There's no pressure on me. You know, whatever he did, that's on him. You know, we all know that Caiz could take a better punch than what he did on that last fight, but tonight I know I expect a hard fight from Caiz, and may the best man win.
All right. Well, there you have it. Back to you, Tom.
All right, Genaro Hernandez, the WBA junior lightweight champion. You talk about the Rodney Dangerfield of boxing. This young man literally doesn't get much respect. He's a magnificent fighter, undefeated, a solid family man, and he's almost, you know, a forgotten champion, but he'll be in action tonight. Jimenez comes out and throws a lead right hand that pops some sweat off the brow and head of Marco Antonio Barrera. This is the 8th round, scheduled for 12. Jimenez looks like he's going to be a little busier in this round, Rich.
Well, Tom, I thought he won the last round. He landed some clean punches, Jimenez did, in that last round. And Barrera, I thought, took that last round off, maybe just to kind of gather himself here for the stretch run in the second half of this fight.
There's a smear of blood at the nose of Marco Antonio Barrera. He's in the red, green, and white, in the silver and black. Danny Jimenez, Puerto Rico, forcing the action here. Very busy in the opening minute of this, the 8th round.
Remember with Jimenez that he started off his career, he was knocked out in his first fight. He started off 3-3. Then he said he got a severe talking to from a commissioner in Puerto Rico about he had great potential. He said after that point he stopped taking boxing as a hobby and he became more serious-minded about it. And that has certainly served him well.
And in his 11th pro fight, he wins the title. Now he switches to the southpaw stance.
There's that uppercut again, Tom. You see how it started it off for him? That right uppercut, and he was able to land a nice combination off of it.
I don't know if I read it correctly, but I thought for a moment Jimenez kind of had a little bobble to his legs as Marco Antonio Barrera is applying the pressure, banging away. Blood coming from the nose of Barrera, but he has taken the fight to Jimenez here in round number 8. And now Jimenez trying to cut the ring off and trap Barrera in yonder corner.
This is usually the territory where Barrera stops his opponents, Tommy. 3 fights back, he stopped Israel Contreras in the 8th round. His last fight, he stopped Eddie Cook in the 8th round.
Left hand looked better than it was. Kind of a slapping left hand shot thrown by Barrera that caught Jimenez up along the side of the neck. Good right hand by Jimenez.
That one got Barrera's attention.
It did indeed.
He's backing away, Tom. He felt that one.
Blood coming from the nose of Barrera. Slips another right hand. Jimenez, encouraged by what he saw at the result of a good right hand, moving in on top of Marco Antonio. Barrera banging away to the body. Both men in a good exchange there a moment ago. Round coming to a close. There's the end of 8. Good round for both men, really. Will follow Marco Antonio Barrera back to his corner.
Always keep the first. Always go first.
Maldonado, Perez, and Rivera in his corner.
El botecito, el botecito.
Neo para arriba, muy bien.
All right, as we take a look at some of the action now in round number 8, Barrera, there's that uppercut. that is there for him, and you see him land a flurry right off of it. It just stopped Jimenez right in his tracks. He stopped there, froze, and Barrera started it with that right uppercut and immediately jumps on him with a beautiful combination of 5 punches, 4 of which landed cleanly.
And right there, Rich, watch it again. I thought that Jimenez kind of did a little Texas two-step there. His feet kind of bobbled underneath him a little bit, but he came on quite strong at the end of the round. And here we are as the bell brings him out for round number 9.
Tom, I still have Barrera well in front at this point, 78-73 at the end of 8 rounds.
Boy, I tell you, Jimenez came across the ring like somebody catapulted him. Pulled Barrera into the ropes. Crowd shouting Mexico. Crowd predominantly, of course, pulling for Barrera. Jimenez a long way from home. He's a native of Puerto Rico.
Jimenez, by the way, you mentioned his chin earlier, Tom. He's only been knocked down once as a pro, so it's not a big surprise to see him withstanding some of the power here of Barrera. The only time he was ever knocked down was in his very first professional fight, the fight that he was stopped in. Since then, he's never been off his feet again as a pro.
Barrera's hit him with some pretty good shots. It's quite obvious that Jimenez very worthy of carrying the title of WBO Junior Featherweight Champion. He's a tough kid. Barrera showing some blood from his nose, and of course that headbutt in round number 1 opened up a sizable cut over the right eye on the inside portion of the eyebrow, just above the nose and middle of the forehead. Raul Caiz is the 3rd man in the ring. Busy flurry of punches from Jimenez.
Yeah, that was nicely done, the way that he brought him up from the body right up to the head there before Barrera had a chance to react.
Jimenez appears to be gaining confidence. Is that a good word to use at this stage of the fight? He seems to be feeling as though he's all right. Lands a nice series of punches against Barrera. Drives him into the rope.
Well, possibly, Tom. Barrera looks a little weary in this round. And Jimenez has had some moments. Oh, did you see? Jimenez did not protect himself at all times. He had his hands down after the break, and Barrera took advantage of it.
Barrera hits him with a slashing right hand as they go apart again. Jimenez has got a fine chin. I tell you, he's taking some pretty good shots. And as the fight goes along, why, he's giving as well as he's taking. Barrera quite easily winning the first couple of rounds. In fact, as you pointed out, Rich, I thought he won the first 4 myself without much of a contest.
And it appeared as though Jimenez was going to be blown right out of here.
Seconds ticking away here in round number 9. There's the bell. And we follow Daniel, the Cobra. Jimenez back in his corner. Felix Trinidad is in there. Part of his team of seconds.
Come here, I'm going to show you what you have to do. Now you're going to try to learn right now. Come on, we're going to the 10th round already. Yeah, here you tell me yes, but when you go at the fight, you don't do it.
Now we're back in the corner with Marco Antonio Barrera. They were working over that cut above the eye again. That is a pretty good sized gash as we get in on a close-up of it. It looks like it's almost an inch long, Rich.
Yes, that's Tony Rivera leaning in from the outside, attending to it.
It has not been a problem, I don't believe, for the young Mexican fighter. As this fight has gone along, it happened back in the first round. Quite a show of blood from it then, but since then, it hasn't been a very big item.
You know, Tom, when it has bled, it has actually kind of bled right down the nose rather than into the eye.
Which, of course, is always a major concern anytime a fighter is cut in the eyebrow, eyelid, above the eye. Why, the first thought is, how will it affect his eyesight? Will he be able to see his opponent? Raul Caiz separates the two. Over in in the corner of Jimenez. They were talking about, you realize it's the 10th round already. Nice combination by Barrera. Unanswered, nice left hand, very busy.
Yeah,
jabs and hooks and everything.
They may say that, Tom, but I thought he was fighting better in the 9th round than he did in the 1st.
Yes, by far. In fact, I thought in both 8 and 9 he fought quite well. Certainly better than he did when this fight started.
And actually, I'm kind of looking to see if Barrera catches a second wind here. He looked a little weary at times in that last round.
So far, he's pretty well carried the day here in round number 10. Got Jimenez backing up, moving away, and he's landed several nice left hands. Nice combinations. Barrera certainly looks all business here in the 10th round, Red. Left hand jolted.
He's coming on pretty good here, Tom, and Jimenez is trying to run, but Barrera's doing a good job here in cutting the distance away again. So he wasn't able to really cut down the distance a lot when Jimenez was running in those first couple of rounds and using the lateral movement. But you see how there he was close enough still to hit him.
Yeah, nice left-right combination. He's got Jimenez above us, and he's got him in the corner and trying to work him over, and Jimenez is obviously going to fight his way out of it, at least try to. He is, after all, the WBO junior featherweight champion. So far, good round for Barrera, Rich.
Yes, I think he's caught that second wind. He looks very good in this round. Jimenez is tough.
Yes, he is tough.
Great shots. We haven't seen previous adversaries of Barrera stand up under this kind of fight.
No, we have not. Bear in mind that we're in the 10th round, and Jimenez was quite frank in telling us yesterday he never had to go 12. Whaley gets in and goes 12 with me. But it could still be a very big factor, these 12 rounds, as we're in round number 10.
Manos libres, tiren golpes.
Good right hand by the champion. For the most part, Jimenez is unmarked in this fight. Catches another right hand in a busy exchange. Left hand and uppercut. There's the bell. Pretty good round, all things told, for Barrera, I thought, Ray.
Yeah, he came back fine in that round and won the round, I thought, clearly, Tom.
You're looking in the corner with Barrera.
Perfect, perfect. This is what you have to do. Here, give me the mouthpiece.
Well, they like the way he fought too, eh, El Torito?
That's right. This is the way he's going to win.
Marco, ¿tú quieres coronarte campeón del mundo?
Marco, you want to be champion of the world? It's only 2 rounds left. Come on, let's go. Throw 3 punches with the right hand. But be smart, be smart.
Esto es tu chance, Marco, por favor. Te quedan 2 rounds, ¿ya?
Come on, Mark, only 2 rounds left. That's it.
All right, he's never had to go 12, has he, Rich?
No, Tom, but they don't want any let-up.
No. Across the way, they were almost pleading with Jimenez, too, the cajoling, urging, trying to pump some enthusiasm back into the champion. Barrera had a very good 10th, at least from where we were watching. And here they are in round number 11. First of a big night, a fight fans fantasy come to life here at the pond. Hernandez and Caiz coming up next. Alejandro Gonzalez, the WBC featherweight champion, in action against Louis Espinosa, and then Chiquita Gonzalez defending his IBF WBC light flyweight crown against Jesus Zuniga. What a night for the fight fans.
Now, Tom, I wish we'd have seen a little more of that right hand from Jimenez. He throws it very quick. He landed a clean one here just a few moments ago. He's landed it quite a few times over the course of the last 4 or 5 rounds.
Even as you speak, he throws it and connects with it. Again, good right hand.
He throws it right from the shoulder. He doesn't telegraph it at all. It's just a quick snapping right hand.
Again, and he lands it. A worrisome thing here in round number 11, that right hand by Jimenez. slides and lets him go by and then pops him with the right hand.
Manos libres, tienen golpes. Manos libres.
These two guys came in at 120.5 pounds.
That's a dangerous defensive move just employed by Barrera, that trying to lean away from a punch.
Yeah.
One just went whizzing right by his chin.
All right, break. Fuera.
Barrera's 21 and the champion 25. Barrera's 34-0, undefeated. The champion 19-3. He's got 10 knockouts. Pretty good right hand, but he was caught with a punch himself and went reeling back.
Barrera's been dying for a world championship, Tom. He was an NABF champion at 115. He was the
Pentacontinental.
And Pentacontinental, which he's held recently. Mexican national champion at 115, but he grew right through 118 and right into 122. And trying to finally annex a world title.
I'll tell you, these two guys very busy here in round number 11. Very good round for both men. Jimenez lands a couple of shots and then dashes away. One more to go to find out about the WBO junior featherweight crown. There's the champion's corner.
Don't put your hands down. Get air. Come on, you need more condition now.
Across the ring, we look in on Marco Antonio Barrera.
Come on, Mark, don't exchange punches with them. Work the middle distance. Work the three with the right hand. Uppercut, right hand, and then hook.
Tom, I believe Marco Antonio Barrera is on the edge of winning a world championship. If he can survive 3 minutes here without too much in the way of dramatics from Jimenez, I think he can win the championship.
Well, it should be a busy 12th round. Raul Caiz separating the men for a moment. Crowd warming to it. They come out. I think it's going to be toe-to-toe. I think Jimenez feels he's got to put this kid away to keep the title, and Marco Antonio Barrera is not going to take a backward step if indeed he can help it. And there they are in the center of the ring here at the pond in Anaheim. A couple of punches behind the head, and Jimenez says, not allowed to do that. Caiz says, you better keep fighting, son.
Yeah, that was rabbit punching by Barrera.
Heads flashing past each other. We've had a point taken away from each man for headbutts. I don't know if Jimenez was staggered or if he just did a little...
Well, he slipped and then he hit on the break. Getting a little rude here in the 12th round.
This has been a very grueling fight. At times it has bordered on the category of a brawl. The champion in black trimmed in silver. Neither man has been down. Barrera in the red, green, and gold. And white. Crowd, definitely a Barrera crowd as he pummels Jimenez now, chasing him down the side of the ring across the way. Jimenez making his 4th title defense. Maybe for Marco Antonio Barrera, the baby-faced assassin, his dreams of a world title come to fruition here tonight.
Tom, he could still stop Jimenez. Jimenez is feeling those punches. He's slowing down here a little bit. Even though there's just a little bit over a minute to go in the round, Barrera's coming on very strong. And as you look at Barrera, look at the purposeful look on his face.
Indeed. Jimenez, on the other hand, looks like a guy who is desperately going to try to catch one last shot of lightning in a bottle. But he keeps backing up, moving away, and Barrera keeps trying to cut the ring off, trying to trap him up against the rope, catch him in a corner. The crowd roaring with every move Barrera makes. A roar of approval, I might add. Barrera has Jimenez above us. You can see that less than half a minute now remaining in this 12th and final round. The crowd warming to the task, ready to salute one of their fellow nationals with a new championship. Caiz steps between them.
It's survival mode now for Jimenez. That's all he's got at this point for himself going.
10 seconds. Throws a right hand. Barrera climbs all over him. A flurry as they come to the end. What a fight it's been.
Look at Barrera close the show.
There's the bell. What a fight. What a fight. It's almost bedlam here at the pond. A crowd that is obviously pro-Barrera. They have him up on their shoulders, carrying him around. That's his dad, I believe. Yes, it was his father, who looks young enough to be his older brother. Has he taken the title away from the Cobra, Jimenez? Well, the crowd certainly thinks so. Rich Ferrara has gone up into the ring with the little bull, Cecilio Espino. They'll be talking to the winner. Magnificent fight to get the evening bill of fare underway. Here's the end of it. And while Jimenez, it appeared from this vantage point, trying to stay on his feet and survive, Barrera throwing caution and punches to the wind all over his mat, backing him up, landing solid shots. The champion with a great chin and a great heart, refusing to go down and fighting gamely to the end as Caiz steps between the two. Here's still another look at a couple of seconds of action in round number 12. A right hand by Jimenez, and Barrera walks right through it, applying pressure, pulling his man back against the ropes, throwing punches literally in bunches, catching a right hand, throwing a right, and shortly thereafter round 12 came to a close, and with it this championship bout. All right, let's get back to Jimmy Lennon Jr. You're looking at the champion. Is it for just another moment or two? Well, we'll know in a moment or two as they're picking up the judges' cards and checking them over. Boy, the ring has got a ton of people in there. Jimmy Lennon Jr. is ready. It's good.
After 12 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. As judge at ringside, Jose Cobian scores the bout 116-111. Moret scores at 115-112. Harold Lederman scores the bout 117-110. All three in favor of the winner and new WBO Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, Marco Antonio Barrera.
Well, it's a night for Barrera, isn't it? What a night for this young Mexican champion, 21 years of age. Jimenez almost forgotten as he wanders about the ring now. Former champion losing his title in his fourth title defense. A game, tough fight. But I tell you, Barrera was almost not to be denied. From the opening bell in rounds 1 and 2, where Jimenez chose to run, and Barrera quite possibly won the first 4 rounds. The judges saw it unanimously in his favor, 116-111, 115-112, 117-110. Each fighter losing a point because of headbutts, but Barrera clearly the best in the ring here tonight. Rich Ferrara and Cecilio Espino are with the new champion. Rich, if you will.
All right, thank you, Tom. Marco Antonio, congratulations, your dream has come true.
Felicidades, tu sueño lo has hecho realidad.
Bien, buena pelea.
Buena pelea.
Pues sí, gracias a Dios. Jiménez fue un rival muy fuerte, muy difícil. Nunca pude agarrarlo, pero gracias a Dios salimos campeones del mundo.
Oh, that's right. Thanks for that. And Jimenez is a tough fighter, but I did what the corner told me, and now I'm the world champion.
We've never seen any anger from you in the ring, but tonight, when you got the headbutt, you were angry.
Nunca te habíamos conocido enojado en el ring, pero ahora que te cortaron, te vimos enojado.
Desgraciadamente fue un cabezazo que fue en el inicio de la pelea, pero pues gracias a Dios vimos salir adelante.
Unfortunately, it was when the fight was starting, but we came with the hands up.
Did he hurt you at any time, Marco Antonio?
¿Te lastimó en alguna ocasión?
No, es un rival muy fuerte, pero nunca me tocó. Me sentí bien todo el transcurso de la pelea. Lo que pasa es que la estaba regando entrar a su tipo de pelea de él.
No, I was real strong. He never hurt me, but I was making a mistake that I was going in his fight.
It looked as though you were ready to finish the fight very strong in the last round.
Se vio como que tú querías terminar la pelea ya en los últimos rounds.
Pues sí, yo quería terminar esa pelea, quería coronarme campeón del mundo con un knockout. Desgraciadamente Jimenez no se prestó y pues aquí está la decisión unánime.
That's right. He wanted to win the championship with the knockout, but he just kept them running.
What did you think of your opponent Jimenez tonight?
¿Qué pensaste de tu oponente Jimenez ahora?
Pues es un rival muy fuerte, como lo dije, es un gran peleador, un campeón muy completo. Pero gracias a Dios salimos adelante. Creo que no le fallé a la familia Maldonado y a mi amigo Oscar Maldonado, aquí está presente, que le dediqué esta pelea porque somos grandes amigos y a su familia.
Well, but he's just a strong fighter, but I think I'm the best. And I think I promised the familia Maldonado that I was going to win the championship, and here's the championship.
Were you discouraged by the cut? Were you worried that it might cost you your chance?
¿Te preocupaste por la cortada?
No, en mi esquina siempre me tranquilizaron, me dijeron que mantuviera la calma, que ese era trabajo de ellos y pues gracias a Dios todo salió bien. Quiero agradecer a mi esquina, tanto a Maldonado como al señor Tony, a mi entrenador de siempre, como lo es Rudy Pérez, es un excelente manager.
No, not at all. The corner just told me to relax, and that's what I did.
Marco Antonio, congratulations. Best of luck. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
Felicidades y buena suerte. Esperamos verte pronto defendiendo.
Muchas gracias y qué mejor que sea aquí en Los Ángeles. Y ahora quiero dar las gracias a WO por esta oportunidad y pues gracias a toda mi familia que me vino aquí a apoyar. Aquí está mi hermana y está mi sobrina y mi mamá abajo.
Thank you. And the first defense, I want to make it here. Why not? Because the people respond to me, and now I want to defend my first time here at the pond.
All right, thank you so much. Marco Antonio Barrera, the new world champion. Here he is.
Thank you very much, Rich and Cecilia. Let's go to Alan Massingale as you take another look at the new champion, WBO Junior Featherweight King, Marco Antonio Barrera. We'll be back.